Hello out there in Twitch land. The time on the clock reads 10:30. It is Wednesday, and I'm excited to bring you the next chapter in my Wednesday series of videos. Wednesdays we used to prep for Starfinder using Fantasy Grounds. As of now, we are prepping for Starfinder using Fantasy Grounds Unity. So I switched my Sunday game over to Unity, and so I'm now today we're going to be working on adapting some of the changes and things. The nice thing is with Unity, because I am using an adventure path, which is a pre-built module, a series of modules actually, uh, it makes it a lot easier. I'm going to do a quick check on my stream, make sure the sound and the picture and everything is going through correctly. So give me just a moment while I do that. Meanwhile, I will do the normal pitches. If you're when you're watching this on YouTube, join me on Wednesdays at 10:30 in the morning Pacific time. Make sure you subscribe and then watch the game on Sunday at 5:30 Pacific time. All right, looks like we are live and good to go. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into it. So we're going to be looking All right, apologize for that. The spousal unit just came back from the doctor, so she was filling me in. Okay, so it's one of those things where it's like, whoa, so much to do. Don't know where to start. I'm going to start by fixing my camera. There we go. Maybe. There we go. All right. All right, so looking at my handy dandy list. So my Solarian. So one thing I need to do, so I'm going to do a little different today. I think I'm going to share my screen itself so you can see what is happening instead of doing my fantasy grounds. I'm going to share the screen, so let's do that. So this is what it's like at night here in Washington. Here we go. It's not a window. I want display. And there she is. Okay, so we're going to throw this up. Come on, come on, come on. There it is. Unlock. Up, 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 up. There it is. Lock, lock. Okay, so the reason I'm doing this is going to be messing around with several different things, and I want you to be able to see what I'm doing. While we're getting this rolling, what I'm going to do is bring up the old Fantasy Grounds, or proper term is Fantasy Grounds Classic. Bring this down, load campaign. What I'm doing is I'm going to move. I noticed last week during this very broadcast, I had made some changes to one of the NPCs. One of the PCs, and added to Fievel, added some stuff to his um, actions and things. And so I want to, the character I brought in, the one that you're looking at here, is actually was saved before then. So I want to go ahead and redo it. All right, what's going on here? Trying to get my camera to work. Okay. If it ever freezes in an okay position, I might just leave it, but half the time I'm doing all these weird faces or whatever. Look like I'm on drugs. Okay, so the other Fantasy Grounds is loaded. So what you do, first of all, I'm going to go into my folders. When you first start Fantasy Grounds or Fantasy Grounds Unity, they both have the same thing. They both have, and I'm starting another instance, this folder icon. And when you click it, it will bring up where all your Fantasy Ground stuff is, because sometimes they can be a little bit buried and it's a little hard to find. So I just click in here, copy and paste it so I know where it is. I then, because I use Fantasy Grounds so much, I pinned it on my under my quick access. I have both here, and I'm pretty sure, let me see, yep. So the difference is it says Smite Works, that means it's Unity. If it just says Fantasy Grounds, that's Classic. So what I'm doing is I'm going here into, trying to remember exactly where it is. I think it's in Campaign. Let's see, Engage. All right, so I don't remember where the characters are saved. Is it user settings? No. Images is just the pictures. Okay, so they're not here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this one. Delete, delete, confirm, delete. So he's gone. He's gone. He's gone. All right, this is my classic. So what I'm going to do is add him. So I'm going to go here, make this a little bigger, just cause it's a little cramped right now. All right. By the way, if you're wondering why my chat is so big, I prefer to put my chat the width of a combat tracker, and that way I can see underneath the rolls and talking and anything that happens. And then I have the combat tracker on top with room for the portraits above. And that way, if I need to drag something, whisper to a character, I can click and drag it up to their portrait. I can see when they're AFK, things like that. So if we open up the PCs, and this is also true for Classic, for D&D. So this is the one I want. You go down here to where it says Edit List. Here it says Export. So export. Now, it doesn't matter where you put that character. You just need to remember where you put it. So in this particular case, man, my camera is killing me. I might just forego the camera here in a little while, but like I said, if I can just find a decent, get it to freeze on a decent picture where I'm not look like I'm on drugs or something crazy. Okay, so like I was saying, you then save it. So what I do is I put the person's name and the race. I mean the level. You can have a lot of different characters from a lot of different things here. Fievel, level 9, save. So now he's saved. Exported files. Now I come here. You go to import character. Import character file. And then you just have to go back to where it was. Let me see, which one is this? So this is engage test. So these are two that I've already used. I don't need those. Can I get rid of them? No, I can't. Okay. Import character file. So I want to make sure I have the right one. So I go back to, trying to remember where I put it. This is a little bit different setup than the one I'm used to. Let's see. See? All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make it, yeah. All right, so what I'm going to do is go back to my folders, go to my documents. This is where he is. And I'm going to click this, Control C. And then from here, when we go import, Control V. There he is. All right, 509. This is the one I want. Can I change it? A, select. All right, it won't let me change it. Okay. All right. I've never used a computer before, guys. So now when I go back to character selection, there he is, and he's not owned by anyone. So when I open him up, I can go to his actions. So now I've got the actions that were missing before. Perfect. All right, another thing I wanted to do today is I just threw this portrait of Serena in there. Serena is the drow elf. He prefers this one, so I need to find this one. I don't know why 5 was still here. So I need to find this portrait in my assets. She is in. I'm going to go ahead and make this full screen for a second. So she's from. I purchased a token pack from. It's either Icewind Dale or the. So this is portraits. Data. Baldur's Gate Enhanced or the Baldur's Gate 2 or Icewind Dale is where she's from. There she is. Okay, so we double click on, we'll open her up, double click on our face, data. Now that we know where she is, all right, number 2 done. Now let's see if we can find the other Fievel. All right, so I'm going to switch back to see. So this is the Fievel I used. This is a token. That I made. Again, what's up with my frozen image? That I made with Roll Advantage. It's all together one word, rolladvantage.com. Really nice. If you check out my YouTube video from prepping using Fantasy Grounds D&D for yesterday, the 29th of September, then you will find, let's see, that would be prepping for D&D using Fantasy Grounds number 6. Then you will, I go over that and step by step on how to use rolladvantage.com to make a token. I may have to do it today if I can't find this guy. So let's see, where is his? So that would be a portrait. Pretty sure, yeah. So this is one that I added. Yusoki No Grav 2 JPEG. Okay, so he is so something I'm not real familiar with in Unity is importing assets. So let's see if we can figure this out. because that's what we need to do. Let's go to, so this is portraits, data. So I've got a handful here already. I know where these are, so I'm pretty sure I know what to do. So let's go to, what are these? Very cool. Now this is some stuff that's been added to Unity, so I'm not um, as familiar with everything. Yeah, see, to me, those aren't portraits. Those are... Oh, very nice. Okay. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to go to folder. So this is where it's going to end up. So I need to find that picture of the Yosoki, which, also I'm opening this in a new folder. So it should be in my pictures under Starfinder. There he is. So I just click and drag him over to here. Boof. There we go. So it's just that simple to add the portraits that you want, that you need. Um, so I'm going to open him up. And then click and drag him over there. There we go. Okay, so we took care of that. I'm going to go ahead and close some of these because there's a lot of stuff here. So if you're looking at running Starfinder in Fantasy Grounds at all, and you have questions about how to code these type of the abilities and things like that, let me know. Stop by, ask me. I'll be glad to show you. You can also, if you're going to be, so I have a intro to Starfinder campaign that I do, and it allows people who've never played Starfinder, never used Fantasy Grounds, to learn Starfinder, and it's really well done. And so what I've done is I've taken a lot of the first and second level abilities and built them into the characters as well. So like I said, if you have questions, feel free to ask. In Dungeons and Dragons, you can save them as spells and drag them onto other characters. They don't have that flexibility yet with Unity. All right, let's see. All right, so that part is done. So one of the first things we want to do is we want to get set up as a Dungeon Master. And so what that means is, what does that do? Wow, okay. I don't know. I don't understand why that's there, but I like it. I like it. I think I might have just learned something about OBS. Okay, so I'm trying a couple different things. Um, just trying to get this camera to stop freaking out on me. I think part of it is because I have a couple different things that I'm pulling from. So let's go ahead and kill this one. All right, so it looks like it's frozen, but it looks like it's frozen in a decent position, so that's okay. All right, sorry for the delay. All right, so the other thing we want to do today is, like I said, get it set up for Dungeon Master, game mastering. And so what I like to do is I use some of these hotkeys down here. So if you're not familiar with the hotkeys, and by the way, sorry, I'm getting rabbit holing here. Trying to think if I need anything else from before. I don't think so. I'm going to go ahead and I'll save it for later. All right, so I like to use my hotkeys, and so when you can drag any image, any link to anytime you see a piezo symbol, you can link it down here. You can also drag dice. So say you have an 8-sider and a 6-sider and a 4-sider, and then all you have to do is hit F4 in this case, or click it, and it'll roll it. You can then right-click on this to clear it, or change the label if you want to label it. And so you have 12 to start with. If you then hold down Shift, you have 12 more. If you hold down Control, you have another 12. And if you hold down Alt, you have another 12. So that's 4 sets of 12 at 48. If 48 just isn't enough for you, you can hold down Shift and Alt. You now have another 12. Shift and Control is another 12. Control and Alt is another 12. So you end up with well over 100 different hotkeys that you can use. I typically use my main one as my GM, and then like for my Dungeons and Dragons campaign, my people love animals, so I have my alt set is for animals because it's an A, stuff like that. So the hotkeys are your friend. So what I do is I'm going into my story. I like to have, first of all, this data is not set up correctly. So to access what's over here, we'll start by clicking GM, and then we'll go back and fix it. I don't use archetypes or boons at all. Boons are for Starfinder Society play. Archetypes are things that you can do as a character. So say if you have a soldier, you can then instead pick an archetype. So and so the archetypes are actually in the core rulebook as well, starting on page 126. And every book that's come out has had other archetypes as well. Most of the books, I'll put it that way. So, for example, you can have there's one that's called Frenetic Adept. There's a Starfinder Forerunner, and so a Frenetic Adept is basically a psionic. So the way they're made is no matter anybody from any class can be this archetype, this psionic. And all it does is it replaces some of the powers and some of the abilities that you get, not all of them, but just a handful, as you're leveling up with these. In this kit, the Frenetic Adept is a psionic psychic powers uh, as you're leveling up. Same thing with the Starfinder Forerunner, um, and there's lots of different archetypes. So that's what that is. Um, that's what that link is. None of my characters are archetypes, so I don't need them right now. Character starships are okay. Characters, classes, I like to have that up there. Encounters, I definitely need that. Definitely need feats. Features, I'm not real familiar with what a feature is. Let's see. Oh, I think this is part of the Starfinder character operations manual. Um, so we're not using that right now. Images, of course, and items, notes, NPCs, parcels, quests. I don't use quests. Races, don't need those on a daily basis. Starship items, and definitely want spells. Skills, special features. Skills is nice, especially as a player or a newer player, because it'll let you know what each skill does. And with Starfinder, you have so many different ones. So, for example, medicine is a good one, because if you're not familiar with this, you can use this to heal people, um, just using the skill itself. So, for example, if you want to treat a deadly wound using the medicine skill, you just click here. It tells you what to do. You can use it to restore hit points to a living wounded creature, and it tells you exactly what you need to do, what the modifier is, what can change it, what can boost it, uh, treating disease, treating drugs, long-term care, just simple first aid. All of that's right here under the skill, and each one of them has that breakdown. This link is also, this field or whatever it's called, this over here is also in the Dungeons and Dragons, if for those of you who use D&D. Story tables, themes, don't need vehicles. All right, I don't like having the double lines over here, but I don't think I have a choice because I don't need starships. As a DM, I pretty much need everything that's here now. And it looks like I've just got one too many for right now. Actually, I'm thinking I'm going to get rid of PC starships just because that's, let's see if that will make it. Nope, not yet. There we go. All right. So I've got the ones I want over there. So I did all that because I didn't have the story over here before. So let's grab story. So I'm setting up. This is what I do to set up as a dungeon master. I like game master. I like having certain things available at my fingertips. So we are in Dead Suns 4. We are in the forgotten city of Istamak. If you go back over a couple of my prepping for Starfinder videos, I go over the storyline several times. I'll probably do it again next week, but for now, we're just going to push on. So they're in the House of Renewal. So here's the map. We use Sunday night. Use the mouse wheel to zoom in. You got to use this gold compass down here to move things around. All right, so now this is where I want it. I want the map itself over here, and then I'm going to take this. Let's throw this down into number 9. So now I have this map. Anytime I need it, I just click it, and pops it back up. And just a little GM trick. So if I get it set up ready to go like this, the way I like it, I can then share it, and it'll share like it looks on my screen. Of course, the players can then manipulate it as they want, but um, I like to make it as close to the action as possible so we can see what's going on. Speaking of witches, because I deleted Fivel, I need to re-add him to the combat tracker and to the party sheet. See, it's unidentified because he's not there anymore. So we go to the PCs. Drag him in here. Drag him in here. And then I can put him back where he was, which was right here on this. And then using control, bring him down because he's a small little guy. All right. Go and close this. And another thing I wanted to do is I'm going to go ahead and move up to where they went past the front steps. They're now in the waiting area. This is where we left off. So I'm going to drag this down, the storyline right next to the map, into 8. So now when we get ready to start, I can just click, click. I've got my map, got my story. Something else I want to do is I want to load the combat tracker. So what I mean by that is, let's pull up the PCs, move them over to the side, out of the way. So I'm going to go through each one. We're going to start with Nosy. And I've coded different effects and different things that they do and that they have on them as reminders or ongoing effects that I track in the combat tracker. So I'm going to go ahead. So I'm going to pull up the old one. I'll give you a little bit of a hint of what I'm talking about. I'm going to go ahead and clear this out just because. Delete only foes. All right, so go ahead and get rid. So clicking on the menu, going to initiative, clear all initiatives. All right, gets them out of combat. All right, so if you see Nosy, she only has a handful here. Regenerative. So what we're going to do is going to slide this over so we can see both at the same time. Make this minimize this. I'm sorry, not minimize, but restore it down. And shrink it a little bit so I can see both at the same time. So some of these I just added on the spot, others I've actually coded. So let's see what we've got here. Tip of the tongue, you can re-roll to recall knowledge. So if you open this up, it does not have, this just tracks preparation. Here we go, standard. So you'll see it tracks her usage. So she can do this. This tells you what it does. Once per day, she can use this. And so this lets her know that she can use it. I could, if I wanted to, add this to the combat tracker, but I'm not going to. I'm going to leave it there. All right, so her weapon damage is magic. We are definitely going to add that. So here we go. Boom. Mystic Strike. Weapon damage is magic. All right, so I thought I had that coded. I did not. So let's code it. Let's see. This should be. So the way to do that. Semicolon. These should be semicolons. Semicolon. So I've added it to all of her weapons. So there's two ways to do this. You can either add the magic property to every single weapon she ever uses. And as she buys new ones and gets rid of old ones, you then have to add it to every weapon. Or you can put it in here and just code it so that every attack she does adds magic to it. So give me just a moment here. Let me verify. I'm pretty sure, now that I think about it, all of her weapons have the magic. Okay, so she only has 2. All right, so we're just going to leave it the way it is. That's fine. Steal Life is an ability. So that's all coded in there. It allows her to drain life, do damage to somebody, and gain that as healing to herself. Her healing channel. Okay, so this is, again, it's a 1. Oh, that's right. How often can she do this? This is using on RP. So she can do this as many times as she wants. It just uses up an RP. A resolve point. So that doesn't need to be coded. Lifelink. So what this does is it allows her to heal somebody in the group, anybody within 30 feet who's actually taking hit point damage. She can transfer those runes to herself. And it doesn't even require an action, which is really nice. But again, it doesn't need to be on the combat tracker. This one, let's see. So her theme knowledge, we're going to say yes. So this, we're going to add this to herself. Boom. So this shows she's a scholar. She has a -5 difficulty to life science checks regarding biology. This does, neither one of these do anything during combat. Just to be clear, this is just here as a reminder that these knows she has these things. And to be honest, the Mystic Strike really isn't necessary because it's already there. But I like to have it just as a reminder. So she has communalism and she has regenerative blood. So All right, I thought I had coded communalism in here. I did. So communalism is here. All right, so let's go ahead and do it. So let's see, I have not coded in Unity, but it should be the same. There we go. So we're going to change this to number of sections is 2 to add one down below. All right, you click over here to pull this up. Opening this up, I like to have them know. I wonder if I can pull from window to window. Let's check it out. Okay, but I can copy and paste. All right, so the source is Shaman because it's a racial ability. And I'm just going to copy this up. As long as an ally is within 10 feet, she can re-roll. So this this character is level 9. She has never used this trait, ever. So it's one of the reasons I'm adding this, putting this in to nope, okay, but I can copy and paste it. The combat tracker so that she'll remember, and I'll remember. We roll attack or skill, so click this down. So what we do here to add it, what we want to do is we want it to look like this. So we're going to go right click. We're going to add the ability. This is an effect. You can change it here to self, or when you open it up, you can change it down here. It's the same thing, does the same thing. This does not expire. This is just here as a reminder. Now we're going to add it. Boom. So now she has that as a reminder. She can re-roll. Oops, it would help if I spelled attack correctly. It's embarrassing. Attack. Okay, so you click on the winged feet. Delete. Try it again. All right. So the last one is regenerative blood. Regenerative blood allows her, so again, I don't have that coded per se. And it needs to be, because what it does is it allows her to, I'm just surprised I hadn't, no, I never did code that before. Okay, well, hey, oversight on my part, but we'll fix it right now. So this would go under miscellaneous again, so we're going to add another one. Click the magnifying glass, change that to 3. So regenerative blood is a feat. Okay, it is not a feat, it is a upgrade that she purchased. It is a uh, augmentation. Okay. And we're going to put it as a Mark II. All right, so in Starfinder, when you, again, we're going to add this right click, add ability action. This is actually going to be a heal. First, we're going to go put the details in here. So in Starfinder, I've mentioned this before very quickly. When you're fighting, it's similar to a boxing match. You're sitting there, you're trading blows, you're getting worn out, you're sweating, you're getting punched, you're punching them. That's stamina, and that's the SP in Starfinder. When you get hit, you start taking stamina damage. The round ends in your boxing match, and you head back to your corner. You sit there for a couple minutes, you rest, water in your face, stand back up. You've now regained some of that stamina. You then continue fighting. Your opponent punches you in the mouth and splits your lip, so you're bleeding some from that lip. You go back to the corner. They will clean it off, but that wound is still there. You get some stamina back, but that wound is still there. So that's what the hit points are like. So you use up all your stamina during a fight first, then you go into hit point damage. If you take a short rest, which is 10 minutes, you get all of your stamina back. So every fight, you can stop for 10 minutes and get all of your stamina back. Your hit points come back at the rate of 1 per level every long rest. So, most of the time as players, you're going to be healing your hit points. I say all that to say regenerative blood is a augmentation, a biotech augmentation that it says your heart is genetically engineered to release regenerative chemicals that can heal physical trauma. When you take a 10-minute rest, you can regain a number of hit points. And when you spend resolve points to stay in a fight, you gain additional hit points. So if you get dropped to 0 hit points, you are unconscious. The next round, you spend a resolve point to stabilize. So you stop dying and risking the risk of death. The following round, you can then spend a resolve point to stay in the fight, and you get 1 hit point. And this, with her blood, she actually gains more back. So she has a Mark II, so she gets 8 hit points back every time she takes a short rest. If she spends 10 points. So if she takes a short rest, she gets 10 hit points back. If she stays in a fight, she gets, instead of coming back with 1, she comes back with 11 because it's regained additional hit points. So pretty cool, pretty cool. This cost her 10,100 credits. All right, so what is the source? Let's see, the main, here we go. Type is augmentation. The subtype is a biotech. This is not a mechanical, this is a technological. Feature, I'm going to again put that as augmentation. And here's the info. Actually, I'm going to say here it's in the heart. So there we go. Info, I'm going to start with hardness. parentheses HP 13. Level is 8. All right, and then here I'm going to put C other tab, because normally in here I don't use the other tab, but in this case I am. So open, copy. All right, so I don't normally use this other. I see what this is. Okay, never mind. I'm not going to bother with this then. I'm just going to go here. All right, so that is for things like connection power. So her connection power is healing, and she gets so many things throughout her as she levels up. So if this was connection power healing, you could then add different features for all the different levels that she has that they need. So just like they have it here. Let's see. Trying to find a good example for you to explain what I'm talking about. All right, so the Mystic isn't the best example of this, but trust me, an Operative is a good example. So she's an Operative. She has, where does it talk about her field exploit? Is this one? Yes, there you go. See? So she gets to choose from her Operative Exploits. And so this is a list of all the different Operative Exploits you can have. I don't need that for what I'm doing. So I'm just going to throw this in here. Your heart is boom. And then I don't know that I want to bother with this because she's only Mark II. So I'm just going to see what happens if I do it like this. Mark II, and I'll just fill in the blanks here. Level 8. And we'll put credits 10 HP. So I've said this over and over, so I apologize if you're used to watching my videos and you're tired of hearing this, but you can add these in without explaining them. But I don't like saying, if she says communalism, what does that mean? What is that? I don't remember what that is. Or tip of the tongue is another one. What is that? I add them in here to the piezo symbol simply because otherwise you would have to go to abilities, dig through here, dig through here. This regenerative blood is actually in the inventory if you up here. So instead of having to go through all that to find it, I like putting the explanation right there with them. Now to code it is very simple. All you do is I can just type 10 in here, open it up. You can change this. This is not meta magic. Change this to stamina or hit points. This one is only hit points, so it's very specific. Click it on here. You add a bonus is 10 because it's fixed. You can make it character level. You can have it roll for hit points. All these different things. So we are done. Close. 10. Whenever she takes short rest, she just goes boom. I also want to remind her that she has this. She has used this once. To be honest, she does not get hurt that much. So I did not know about the heal on short rest and stay in fight. And you're wondering, boy, how is she going to remember that? Because right here, stay in fight right there. Back to actions. Okay, so now we're going to add one more. Right click, add an action, add an effect. Open this puppy up. Self. Boom. Regenerative. Blood. Semicolon. And I just put this right here. Control C. I'm actually going to add HP to make sure they don't think it's stamina. Now, add it. Boom. It's now in Combat Tracker. So, no C is done. All of her stuff is here. And she's ready to go. Now we'll go to Serena. Alright, so it is 11:30. I've been doing this for an hour. I'm going to go ahead and stop the stream. And see, do I want to stop the stream and just make another one? Or just make this longer? Forget it. I'm going to keep going. Stuck with me this long. Hopefully, you like me watching on YouTube and you're doing it at 1.25 speed or 1.5 speeds because life is too short to watch YouTube videos at normal speed when they're just informational. Alright, so we're going to do it again. Same thing we just did. Boom. Open up Serena. Open up the classic. So Serena has a lot, as you can see. So we're going to start with the ones we have. Go to her actions page. I've spent quite a bit of time going over and over and over. So Serena is interesting in that she is an operative and a Solarian. She started as a Solarian and then added some things and became an operative. So he wanted these in a particular order. That's why there's 1, 2, and 3. If you're familiar with the trick attacks, so operatives aren't really rogues. They're more of spies. If you think of a spy, like James Bond, that type of thing. CIA, special forces, that type of thing. That's what an operative is. And they have a lot of different options for their trick attacks. Basically what they do is they do some sort of trick when they're attacking. If that works, they then get a bonus to their damage and or an effect. I don't have to put that in the code because she's good to go. So her passive ones I do need to put in here though. Alright, so she has Uncanny Mobility, which is a feat. It's just a talent as an operative. So we're adding this to her. So she does not get opportunity attacks from the person that she's trying to trick when she attacks. And evasion. means if she has to make a reflex saves, she takes no damage. That's similar to the rogue in Dungeons and Dragons. Alright, so those are her two passive ones. Her sidereal influence, add 1d6 to check. So these two are cool. Did he add them already? He added one. Okay. So this gives her, this is something she gets as a Solarian. She can spend 1 minute attuning to the forces of the universe and brings in these, in this case, diplomacy is the photon abilities, brings in some photon energy, and it allows her to get a bonus to her diplomacy. And by coding it like this, it happens automatically as long as it's on. If I add this to her right now, he cannot toggle this. But because he added stealth, it allows him to click off and on when he needs to. It does not work during combat. So but he takes 1 minute, attunes to those things, and he gets this bonus. So I would like to see them both there, but that's okay. Because it's off, when you then get rid of this, it doesn't even show up. So he doesn't have to keep adding it and subtract, taking it away, adding it, taking it away. He just turns it off. So it's nice. Gravity boost. Remind me again what this is. You can add a bonus to one or two. Okay, so I don't have this coded for a reminder. And I want to. So I'm going to go ahead and add this. So what happens is, again, this is with his Solarian levels. He is a 4th level Solarian. So this gives them a bonus equal to 1/3 your Solarian level to your athletics check to climb, swim, or jump. When he's attuned, he gets it. This doubles, so it's +2. So if he rolls athletics, he can just click this, and it automatically adds the +1. If he is attuned, he clicks this one, and it adds a +2. But again, this is not something we will remember, so we're going to add this effect. Open it. This is always self. This is called Gravity Boost. Semicolon. Age in athletics. And we're going to add it to her. There we go. All right, so she has damage reduction. It's not up there yet. So interesting. I don't have it coded, so we're going to code it. So I'm just going to click it here, DR 7 kinetic. Boom, it's now applied. Toughness. So toughness is really specific. It applies stamina, and we talked about stamina earlier, but it also adds in very specific situations. She gets bonuses. Again, we're just adding it to remind her. So unlike Dungeons and Dragons, you can only move once throughout your turn. So you can either move and attack or attack and move, but you cannot move, attack, and move again. Um, unless, like in this case, she has a feat that allows you to do so. So again, boom, we're adding this here. She can move, attack, and move with no attack of opportunity also. So that's an even better thing. Um, and again, all the details are right here. All right, and then she has drow immunities. She has racial things. She's immune to sleep and +2 versus enchantments, which I already put on there. And then she has light blindness because she's a drow. Come on, what am I looking for? Here it is. All right, so I'm not going to put that in the tracker because these are actual conditions: blinded and dazed, dazzled, if she's in bright sunlight. All right, so now let's check the old fantasy grounds and see if I missed anything. Evasion. We have that there. I'm actually going to look at it this way. Boom. Okay. Kinetic, toughness, spring attack, uncanny mobility, drow, shadow nerves. Okay, so I don't have her shadow nerves on there. So do influence, light blindness, and photo attune. Alright, so shadow nerves is the only one I'm missing. So again, I've pretty much given up on my camera. That frozen image is okay, so I'm just going to keep it that way. Sorry that you don't get to see my animated face and hand motions and things. All right, so focus on trying to remember where I put that. I don't even know if it's coded anywhere. I think I just added this. This is one I just added. It is it's none of these things. It's a augmentation that she has. I do want to track it. All right, so I'm just gonna do. We'll do another one. Make her page really long. Right click. Let's add another one. So if we go straight down, so this one's going to be, was it 6 or is it 5? 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is 5. 5. I'm just going to make it miscellaneous. So this is based on her characters, not based on either of her classes. You notice this is based on her Solarian level, and that one is based on her Operative level. This one is based on her character. And that's not how good of a person she is. It's just the character stuff. All right, character. So 1 right now. Get rid of that. This is going to be, what was it called? Shadow Nerves. So this is similar to the regenerative blood that Gnosi has. It is an augmentation, but unlike Gnosi's technological augmentation, this one is a necrograph, so it uses undead technology. Dun dun dun. So this is Shadow Nerves Mark II. Alright, and so this Shadow Nerves, again, we want to fill in the details here. They're long strands of partially incorporeal undead nerve fibers, have strong connections to the shadow plane, and allow you to navigate a path that exists partially in the material plane and partially in the shadow plane. Very cool. So there are 5-foot steps in Starfinder that allows you to move in any direction 5 feet without provoking an attack of opportunity. So what this does, it allows her to do that twice a day. She can go 10 feet without provoking an attack of opportunity. Now, this is a level 6 augmentation. Again, we're going to put the hardness 11, hit points 11. So depending on how particular you want to be, this is augmentation. If she takes enough damage to her spinal cord, she could lose this augmentation. It could get damaged. And we need to be prepared. This is a necrograft, and it is, the category is shadow nerve. Actually, it's a spinal column. Spinal column. Wow, that was like sad. All right, so all the definition is there. She can do 2 times a day. 10-foot step. And so now I need to change this to 2. So now when she goes to standard, boom, she can mark it twice that she's used when she's used it. And to remind her that she has that, she has used that ability once since she has paid for it. Cost her 4 grand. Self. Shadow Nerves. Semicolon. 2/day. Actually, I don't know what the slash does, so we're not going to try. 2x a day. Actually, I'm just going to put 10-foot step. Foot step. Okay, add it. So Serena is done. Now we're moving over to 5-0. So we're going to be doing this, and then when I'm done with 5-0 and Zerail, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. So if you want to skip ahead, or if you have any further questions, make sure you leave comments if you have comments or questions. So my boy 5-0, he's a soldier. Every person who plays Starfinder, every character, rather, not person, but every character gets a feat at every odd level and some additional feats thrown in there depending on your class. Soldiers not only get that, they also get a combat feat every even level. So every level he's getting a feat because he's a soldier. So he's level 9. He has had more than 9 feats because as a soldier he also gets other feats. You can see his list of feats here. Whoosh. List of class abilities. As a Yosoki, a rat person, he has a lot of racial traits. So a lot of things were coded, none of which are on his page right now. So here we go. Starting off with his DR9 kinetic energy. Kinetic damage. Oops, my bad. Made a mistake. So let's see. We're gonna restore that back, put that back on him to he's at 42. I don't have this coded. What? Say what? Okay, well, never mind. Right click, add ability, add effect, self. This is DR, damage reduction 9, kinetic. So whenever he takes kinetic damage, as opposed to energy type damage, he takes 9 less. Add it. Next, opening volley. Far shot. Deadly aim. So deadly aim is something he applies in that last one round. So it gives him, if he takes a -2 to his attack, he can do an extra 4 damage for 1 round. Barricade. So if he builds a barricade, he gets a +2 armor class. Again, deadly aim and barricade I could put in here. I'm not going to because you can see them right here. Intense focus. I don't remember what this is. Use RP versus cover or concealment. Alright, do I have this coded? Yes, I do. Okay, boom. Alright, I know what all the other things do. Off the top of my head, I don't remember what this does. When you make a ranged attack against a target, you can spend a resolve point to negate its armor class from cover and to reduce its concealment by 1 category. Okay. This applies to all ranged attacks you make against that target this round. Okay. So before they came out with what you just saw, all the actions, where you could add them onto the actions page, these things. I was doing it similar to D&D, where I was coding them as spells. So Ace Pilot gives him a bonus to sculpture checks. Moxie lets him stand as a swift action and tumble through enemies. Powerful Explosive gives him a +5 bonus to his explosives. Slippery Shooter gives him a +3 armor class versus, so if you're standing adjacent to somebody in melee combat and you try to shoot them with a gun, they get to punch you in the face and try to stop you from hitting them. This gives him a bonus when he does that because he is a slippery shooter to feet. And then he has Sniper's Aim. Okay. Alright, so we will look at the list. We will check the old school list. Moxie, Sniper's Aim, Powerful Explosive, Slippery Shooter, Opening Volley, Far Shot, Ace Pilot, and Intense Focus. Yep. Okay. Wrong button. Alright, so 5 is done. Miss Zerael. Alright, are these a... What? Ooh, I found a mistake. I did not put what these do. Okay, this one I did. I'm just trying to find out how often you can do this. Number of minutes per day equal to your mystic level. So I'm going to make this 9, because this is 9 minutes. Alright, so Walk the Void, though. Let's see, abilities. Walk the Void, there we go. Let's fix this, shall we? So again, just filling in the details so she has access to them. Alright, so this is not a number of times per day. This is just a flight in space, save in space. Okay, so I'll get rid of this. Alright, so again, I don't have this coded, so let's code it. Boom. Add it, add effect, self, and I like how this is put it, so we'll just do this. And apply it. So this should have, yes. So she gains 20 feet concealment. She exudes light for 30 feet. She can fly 60 feet. And you can apply it to herself for 9 minutes. Starlight form is blinded. She does that to the target. That's herself. That's to the target because she can blind people as long as they make a save. Alright, so again, I did not code this. What did I do in the old school? Let's see, does she have any spells that are not mystic? Yes. Okay, so what I was doing is I was adding these. I put this under here instead of her theme. So I'm going to go ahead and fix that real quick. So this is her theme. She's a paranormal investigator, which I think is pretty cool. So she has a -5. So what she does is she determines with the dungeon master, or game master rather, what the what mystery she's working on right now, and that allows her to get a bonus anytime she tries to find out any information about that particular mystery. Alright, so I'm going to open up the actual ability, attention to detail, theme knowledge. Nope, wrong one. Oh, that was right. Okay. Level 1, level 6. So the theme is like a background if you haven't figured that out. So our theme, okay. Sorry guys, I'm trying to figure out what the heck is going on. So this is alright, so I'm putting attention to detail first because that's, theme knowledge, physical science first. Okay. Whew. Theme knowledge. Oh, hey, want to become famous? Oh, no, that's just wasn't a real chat. It was just somebody trying to fish. Theme knowledge. This is physical science. So we open this up. Here it is. So the source is the theme. Paranormal. Actually, no, this is theme. This is a theme. What's it called again? Ability, okay? It is Paranormal Investigator. And the feature is theme knowledge. You get it at level 1. Boom. It's a lot of stuff. Okay, and so we click it. Short description is you chose physical science over diplomacy, life science, mysticism, or survival. Okay, all of this we don't care about because it has nothing to do with us right now. You choose a specific paranormal mystery case to the GM create, and we reduce the DC checks of that by 5. All right, so, or what do we call it? Knowledge. So how did I phrase it in the old one? I phrased it as 1 time a day reroll physical science, sense motive or perception. That's attention detail. Paranormal investigator -5 DC to mystery checks. Yep. I like it. -5 DC to mystery checks. Boom. It is now on her. Nope. Target self. There we go. Now it's on her. And her last one is attention to detail. So attention to detail. So same thing. Source is, let's actually open this back up and see. This is a theme ability. Paranormal investigator is her class. This feature is called attention to detail. It is level 6. So we right click, we add another effect. This is self. Open it up a little bit. Let's see, this is and then re-roll perception. Or sense motive. So we're going to make this, yep, this is once, attention to detail. All right, so add it to herself. Let's see if she has anything else on here. So she has Stargazer, tip of the tongue, attention detail, paranormal. Stargazer. What the hell? I don't remember what that is. So Stargazer is a class ability as a Mystic Star Shaman. So why am I not seeing it here? Alright, so since her Starlight form and her... I'm going to go ahead and delete it from here. Paranormal Investigators, deleting it. No, I want to delete this. Nope, I don't want to delete the spell class. Okay. This is actually 45 now because this is class level. Why does it say 5 times class level? Ah, that's why, because her class level is 8. Her class level is 9. Okay, so now it's 45. Days is her Lashunta ability. This one is the one we're deleting. Alright, so now this is just Lashunta magic. Alright, so getting back to her ability, this is a... It just doesn't, I just don't have it. Okay, so let's add it. Alright, so we go back to actions. This is considered a Mist Star connection, so Star Shaman. So we're going to go click, make it 3. A Mystic ability should be Wisdom, so I don't know why this isn't here. Let me just make sure I know what the hell I'm talking about. Yep, key ability is Wisdom. This is Stargazer. It is a supernatural ability. The reason this matters, I didn't understand it for a long time, but there are some things that are spell-like abilities, some things that are supernatural abilities, natural abilities, things like that. The reason it matters is you can have feats or your own protections, things like that. So you get a +2 bonus against spell-like abilities, or spells or spell-like abilities, those type of things. So this way, we know this is actually a supernatural ability, so so it's specific to that. All right, so click. Wow. Okay, source is Star Shaman connection. It is a mystic class. This is a level 6 ability. You study the stars and gain a bit of good luck twice a day. If you're outdoors and can see the stars, you can reroll a failed ability check. So this is going to be, when we switch to preparation, 2. Reroll. Ability check. Attack. Saving throw. Or skill check. Oops. Saving throw. And we're then going to add the effect to herself. Stargazer. And I'm going to simply, this is semicolon. Put all of this in here. Boink. Add it to self. Okay. I realized that so it says half-time to research, reroll, perception, or sense motive. Doesn't say what this is talking about, so we're going to add, this is the theme feature. Tells you why this is. Okay, so now she's finished. So all we have left is give her her companion. She has a companion, but she said when she pulls it up, it doesn't come up right. So we're going to go ahead and kill this. Nope, not arrest. I want to delete it. There we go. So when I transferred everybody over, I did not transfer over the companion. So that's why she wasn't showing up. There we go. See, and it was saying, what is going on? Why is this here? Nope. All right, so what you do to make a companion, you go here to you go to character selection, go to player companion. Right click, create the item. I personally like to put the token in. All right, so I have a spider. So let's put spider. There we go. Spider swarm, which gross. Okay, so I can use any of these as the token for her. I think I'm going to put in, let's try a couple of these and see what this looks like. What does that look like? Oh no, it's a flying bat thing. There's this. There's that. We could make it blue. We'll make her ice spider. Sure, why not, man? It's cool. See if she cares. Alright, see, because I also have the black one or brown. Looks more like a tick. Alright, ice spider. Her name is Arachnid. Get it? Arachnid. Alright, so once you've given the name token, again, it'll do it in this order, but that's what I like to do. Go open a race. Race, that's right. Data, go to races. If you just click the word, it just opens it up. If you click the circle, it adds it over here. So now you go to race, you go to companion race. Do I not have the module open? This is on Alien Archive 3, so let's check and see. And Archive GM, maybe it has to be under Alien Archive 3. So let's put, there's only so many ones with 3. Alien Archive players, load. Once the laptop opens, you know it is loaded. Humming the theme song for Jeopardy. Dun, dun, dun. Alright, so I'm wrapping this up. This will only take me a moment. Not sure why this is taking so long. The book is not that big. I already have the 3 GM in here. I'm impatient because my daughter asked me for her help. To help her. Anyway, this is actually really simple concept. Once you I'll go here. I'll show you in this real quick. You go to companion races, and so he's an empathnid, which is a tiny thing. Drag this over to the character sheet, and then once the companion is open, where are PCs? Then all you do is on the level, you hold down the control wheel, just the mouse wheel, move up or down to get up to the level you want. That's all there is to it. It's very simple. It's awesome, very well done, very easy, very nicely done. Okay, so I am finished with this one, by the way, so we're going to go ahead and exit this program. Yay, it's finally finished. Okay. So as I was saying, you just go to companion race. I guess I have to have the player level open. Drag this over. And then she is level 9. Boof, 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 boof. 8 and 9. And now, since she's here, you go to PC, companions. Oh no, I'm sorry. Open her up and then drag her from here to that. And then she's linked to her owner. Simple as that. All right, guys. Well, thank you for hanging out with me. Come see how this all plays out at Sundays from 5:30 Pacific time to 8. Please enjoy the rest of your day.